Hey guys, Emily Muccianti here with another video trying to answer and provide some insight in the world of reading intervention. And today I came across a really interesting question that I myself have struggled with throughout my career. And I thought, what a great time to bring this up because I know other people are kind of struggling with this question as well. But before I lead you into that, let's go ahead and remember to like, subscribe, and share this video with just one person that may get some value from this conversation. All right, so what is the big question? Well, the question is, should our students on IEPs be receiving their service time or intervention in the reading lab or the reading intervention? And I've gone back and forth with this a number of times for a number of different reasons. And I'll kind of explain my thought process and where I've landed since then. So there are some pros and cons to giving intervention spots to kids that are already receiving services through an IEP. And so that's one of the cons is if I only have so many spots available in intervention, and if I give one to a student who's already receiving some other interventions or services, is that fair to a student that we may be able to actually prevent from getting on that IEP route in the first place? I don't know the answer, but it is something to consider. I'll tell you where I've kind of landed on this. If we have a true pyramid of RTI or an MTSS model where we are providing students the services that they need, we really need to provide those services without regard to label. So it's not about the label or the program that the student qualifies for. It's really about where will that student best be served in that entire model of intervention throughout the school. And so it's really a school-wide decision in how you go about this. And we've handled it both ways. So one thing that I did in one reading lab that we ran is a way to help bring those kids in that happen to be on IEPs but could still benefit from the services that we provided is actually one of the special ed paraprofessionals came in to give me an additional personnel in the reading lab so that we didn't technically lose any spots. Doesn't mean that that particular para was the one servicing the students on IEPs. The kids were still put in groups based on skill deficit from assessed need, so that they were getting the instruction that would best serve them with the best curriculum and the best person for that particular need. And that worked really well. As long as you have enough space, it was a really good way to do it. And that way we were actually bringing in a couple of additional spots. Something else to remember is that one of the big purposes of a reading intervention is that we are trying to reduce the number of special ed referrals because we're providing early intervention to students so that they never get so far behind that we're then trying to catch up or that they would then qualify for an IEP. Now, it happens, and many of our students or some of our students that go into the intervention route, we realize that there are other factors contributing to their deficits, and we do go the IEP assessment plan route. But really, when intervention is done right and we can intervene early, those students that may have only been able to receive services on an IEP or in a special ed situation can now be caught up early, and we can actually reduce the number of students on IEPs, which is win-win, because then those students that really have some serious issues, we can provide all of the personnel and that specialty instruction to those students because that's the path that they really will qualify for. So that is one way to look at it. Now, the other way is, well, all of our kids go into intervention regardless of IEP or IEP status, and that's fine, but it does sometimes take away a spot for a potential student who's in general ed. So we just have to weigh that. My personal feeling now is that every student, regardless of label, should get the instruction that they need in whatever situation is best for them. I will happily service students on IEPs if what is provided in my reading lab is what is best for that student. At the same side of that, we want to try to see if we can get some flexibility in our special ed departments, because we may have students that haven't qualified for IEPs that really could benefit from that smaller, like tier 3 type of intervention where they're in a group of one-on-one, one-on-two. That gets a little tricky because we're dealing with compliance issues and things like that. But we do want to look at our special ed team and our reading intervention team really as basically just different parts of the same working machine. And we are all there to help service our students in whatever way is best possible. And again, with the whole feeling that if we can intervene early, maybe we can reduce the number of students on IEPs. Okay, so those are my thoughts about whether or not our students with IEPs should actually be receiving intervention services. Not an easy topic, not an easy decision to make, but again, I think it's really about giving our students what they need, regardless of whatever program they're in. Okay, that's it. Bye for now. See you later.